Hi, Clifford here, and we're going to talk about betting on yourself. This is such an important metaphysical conversation when it comes to manifestation and creating your reality. And yeah, it's about the act as if thing, but let's get clear on act as if. There isn't a recipe that can be replicated. This is about you finding your own unique self. This is about you finding your true self. This isn't something that you can go to a cookie cutter recipe to say, oh, well, a successful person does this, so therefore I do this. Now, yeah, there's a group collective image of what successful people look like, and you can tap into that and you can use that to a certain extent. But it won't last anywhere near as long or be anywhere near as successful and fulfilling as, like, compared to when you go within and you find out what your true taste for life is, what your true desires are, what you would actually do if you were able to be your real self and you knew that you could actually trust yourself. And this is what it all comes down to, is self-trust. And that's a big thing, because a lot of us, we've just let ourselves down so many times, haven't we? We have a lot of aches and pains and resentments and deep unconscious fears about things going wrong around specific topics for each of us. And you'll notice a certain thing. I bet if you're watching this and I see someone here, say hi, let me know that you're here, live or on replay. I bet you'll notice that certain things in your life that you think will go wrong, it generally does. And you go, oh, like, see, I knew it. But is it because you knew it would go wrong, or was it because you prophesized it and therefore created it? Is it because the future pacing, the patterns that you set down through your expectations and through what you said and felt and assumed would happen, it happened because that's how it was mapped out in your psyche. And then it basically shifted you into that dimension where exactly what you thought would happen. Now, you might be saying, oh, yes, but I had these big expectations and I thought it would happen, but then it didn't. Okay, well, guess what? It means that you're not fully connected to all parts of you. It means there are parts of you that you're repressed, that you're not looking at. Maybe you're trying to think positive over the negative. Maybe there was a big part of you that actually did believe, that was all on board. But if it didn't happen, it's because there's a part of you that secretly didn't feel safe having it, that didn't feel like it was a normal, natural thing for you, that felt like you had to try, that felt like you had to put yourself out and be someone else. But you can't be someone else. You can only be yourself. Now, we are constantly being someone else, but this someone else isn't really a real person. The real person is the person that has your desires and your preferences, your taste for how you think things should be. Now, when you hold back and you worry and you hold back and you worry about what could happen, so you try to hedge your bets, and maybe there's someone that you want to invest in, but you won't invest in them because you think, oh yeah, but it's a bit too much money, even though you have the money there. Now, if your preference is, I'd actually rather wait until this certain thing happens, well then fine. That's your preference. That's your true self. Follow that. But if there's a part of you that's like, oh, I really would do this. I have the money, but I don't know. And you go into fear about investing or spending that next thing, that means that you're not betting on yourself. You're not trusting in life. You're not allowing the life force to flow through you. Because guess what? It's not that money comes and goes. What if it's money comes and flows? Because money is just a currency. It's meant to be a reward, really, for doing good, essentially. But it doesn't have to be, because it has no preference as to who it goes to. It goes to the person who's certain, full stop. It goes to the person who naturally assumes that it will happen. It goes to the person that just knows that it will happen, that just has that energy that they know. Have you noticed that there are things in your life that you just assume will happen and it's just natural, like it always happens like that? Like, you might know that there's a certain point, you might know that you always pay certain bills, or you know for a fact that you will never, no matter what happens, be homeless. Now, some people actually don't know that. Some people obviously are homeless and others have that fear of that. Maybe you know for a fact that you're safe in your relationship and that no matter what happens, your partner wouldn't leave you, and if they did, you'd be okay and you'd find another one. Or maybe you have the opposite belief and you're experiencing the opposite reality. Now, we all have assumptions and things that just feel natural and normal for us, and these are the areas where our life is actually working out. So you want to look at the areas where your life is working out naturally, maybe even where it always has, and then apply what works in the way you feel about it and think about it. Apply that to the areas where things aren't working. And you'll notice that the areas where things aren't working, you're probably trying really hard. You're probably not trusting yourself. You're probably looking for a recipe from another person. You're looking for the steps. But guess what? The steps don't come from other people. They come from within you, guided by God, the divine, infinite spirit. Okay, I'm non-religious, but very spiritual. I believe in the higher power that lives within us and guides us, that we are all made of, the one true living God. Whether you call it God, Frank, or, any of the other names, it doesn't matter. As long as you believe that there is a higher force guiding you. Now, part of the inner work, it really is about looking at these parts of you that secretly don't believe, the part that secretly doesn't believe that you're guided, the part that secretly doesn't believe you can trust, the part that is attached to having to have what you want to be happy. So let's say that you were wanting to bring on some more clients, and for some reason something happened where you decided, okay, I have to have these next level clients in this next level way. And then let's say that it didn't happen exactly how you thought it would. You'll notice a state change. Now, this is human, this is normal, but the work is to notice where you have the state change, the anxiety, the disappointment. And that is actually the work, is to focus on the thing inside of you that gets disappointed and goes, oh, well, because this didn't happen, I can't be happy. Well, guess what? That is the problem. The problem is thinking that you need the thing to be happy. So you need to find a way to unhook and unattach yourself from the need to have the thing that you think you want to be happy. And the thing that's showing up instead is actually helping you. It's actually there for your own benefit. Maybe because it's leading you towards something that you actually want that you don't know. It's leading you towards something that's much better for you that you can't even imagine. Or, hello little guinea pig, my guinea pig's having a little week at me from over here, yes. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so not only could it literally be something that's just the step to get to a better thing, it could also be, instead or at the same time, a lesson showing you what needs to be cleared to have what it is you actually desire, such as the attachment to having to have what you want. You're placing your worth upon the money, the success, the image, the impressing people, the whatever it is that you desire. Placing your worth and happiness on that is a surefire way to push it away, because you have to be the person who is secure in yourself, whether you have it or not. And that's where the emotional alchemy work comes in, that I share with my clients, that I've been dedicating my last 13 years of my life to. Doesn't mean I've been a monk on a hill. As I say, I've been more of a party girl than a monk on a hill. But I've, in the meantime, at the same time, on and off, been going in radically to transform my own world by facing the fears and seeing how I contribute to each thing. Like, there was a time for years, like, I was, helping people online and having clients all over the world, getting messages like pretty much daily from people telling me how my content or my one-to-one sessions or group work has changed their lives with radical, amazing, surprising stories of things you could not even imagine beforehand, because my work clears out the blocks and opens the way to your true self, to your true desires, and then things happen in amazing ways that you couldn't even imagine. Anyway, during all of this, I had this massive insecurity about my body image, about the way I looked, to the point where I wouldn't even leave the house, and I got so big because I felt so bad about myself that I got really, really big. And if I was out walking, I would literally cringe at the judgment from the other people, until one day it clicked that, wait there, this is my judgment in my body. These random strangers walking past me, they might not even be noticing me or looking at me, and if they even do, and they do judge me, they'll probably forget me a minute later, and what does it even matter what they think? But I noticed that I thought I was cringing about their judgment. No, I was judging myself. And once I started realizing that it was my self-judgment, it was my belief that I had to look a certain Sports Illustrated, swimsuit model way to be even liked at all. Otherwise, I thought I was disgusting and people would hate me because of, the trauma and the bullying I got around my weight and image and the way I spoke as a child and everything. I was constantly bullied and teased and hurt. And so I really got a massive complex, and it was really hard because I was constantly trying to be what other people wanted, which then meant I wasn't being myself, which meant I was trying too hard, which meant that was coming from fear of not being liked, which meant I was acting in ways that made people not like me, which meant that it then exacerbated it and created the vicious cycle, and it just compounded and got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until I eventually learned how to, over many, many years, disconnect my worth. The first thing was I disconnected my worth from money and image like that, like money and success. And then that meant that I was able to stop stressing about money and like feeling like, oh, I was so embarrassed if I didn't charge a certain amount or things like that. And that meant that even when I had £2 in my bank account, I could still stay calm and trusting and knowing that the money will come in because it always does. And money has like never ever stopped forever, has it? And the money would always come in right when I needed it. And that led me to creating this beautiful relationship with money in abundance because, you don't need money to be abundant, although you will have money, it will come in. But some days if you maybe are short on money or something, it doesn't matter because you know that more will come in and you still have what you actually need. We have a standard for around you, yeah? And then the next thing I disconnected was, it took a long time, but the next thing I disconnected, I think, was my, what is it called? Like self-image around my looks, and my figure. And so now I'm actually bigger. I'm bigger than I was, back when I wouldn't even leave the house at first because I thought I was too fat. And now I love my body. I have a beautiful little wardrobe, whereas at the time, I literally thought no clothes could fit me because I couldn't handle looking in the mirror and seeing a more curvaceous waist, a bit of a belly, and it just made me feel, so much self-disgust and hatred in my body. I could not even handle it. And it took years and years and years and years, but I eventually deprogrammed it. I cracked it. I clicked. And it actually came with when I was a lot bigger than I am now, starting to not care about how I looked around people and trusting that I could be liked through my personality and not about how I looked. And that was a big deal for me, allowing myself to be around people when I was, so much bigger and just wearing onesies and stuff because I couldn't fit into anything else in my mind. And at that size, I pretty much really couldn't. But then that led me to finding a joyful life and finding a joy within myself where I wasn't constantly thinking about what other people thought of me. So self-obsessed, And that led me to just have fun again. And then that led me to start losing weight. And then that led me to start having fun. And now, as I said, I'm wearing clothes. I've got a whole wardrobe of, clothes that I thought that I couldn't fit into when I was this size on my way up, right? And now I'm on my way down naturally. And I'm still eating like chocolate and whatnot whenever I want. But instead, I'm not self-obsessed about how I look anymore. And this is a deep process of radical inner work where you go in and you find the parts of you that you don't even know what they're thinking. You just know that they're feelings that are controlling your behavior. And as you find it, you go, oh, I didn't realize that the whole reason that I was acting like this is because I was scared that that would happen. So when I was a kid, I decided that I would never, let people see me cry, or I would never let my guard down. I would never trust. I would always be good. I would always be bad. I would always rebel. I would never rebel, whatever your story is. And so we made these inner commitments. And they control our lives every day. So if you're watching this and this is impacting you, please share. Because so many people are walking around, we're all walking around with these thoughts in our heads that this is just life and this is how it is. And that if we get sick, well then, we need to do certain things. Like the only certain thing you need to do to heal yourself is to go within, look at your emotions and heal them and clear them. And that will give you the answers to take the actions that you need to take. But it comes from within. So that's why I'm so passionate about getting this work out in the world, because I used to be living in a nightmare. I used to have PTSD and severe insecurities and mental health issues and chronic illnesses that almost killed me, like seriously. But I healed them, right? While also being a party girl, while also being weird, and different than everyone else. Like, I've learned how to truly and utterly embrace that, rather than thinking like things have to be a certain way. The only certain way they have to be is what feels right for me. And I'm learning how to predict what other people's reactions will be more, so I can take that into consideration to get better outcomes. But at the same time, it's really been this journey that, we all need to be on, of consistent, or somewhat. Consistent doesn't mean constant, but throughout you keep coming back. Sometimes you do it all the time. Sometimes you take a break. Sometimes you do it hours each day. Sometimes you do it 10 minutes. And you do this thing where you go within and you look at your emotions and you look at your fears and you give them to God or Source or infinite intelligence or your higher self or, Christ or the universe, whichever terms you can get on board with. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have faith. Faith in something bigger than you, guiding and helping you, that has your back, that goes out into the world to help people like come onto your path and create opportunities. And so you never know. If something falls apart in your life, if that is literally God the divine taking away what's not needed, and also setting you up to come into someone else's life while setting them up to come into your life. And so when you can look at a situation and see, wait there is positive in this, and you bet on yourself, which means you have faith that things will work out, and you take the actions that you would take if you actually trusted, then that's when things work out. And you have to be able to hold your role, like, if you know what I mean. You have to be able to stay calm when it's right in the face when it seems like things aren't working. That's when you take a breath. You might have to talk to yourself. You might have to really say, you know what, I'm really actually scared right now. I feel like terrified. But I know that when I trust, things work out. So what would I do if I trusted? Take another breath. Use it as a drug. And then you shake that, that fear off. You admit that you have it, but then you admit that there's another way, and you say, what is a new way? And I like to say, God, spirit team, help me intervene in my life. Show me the way. The truth is I am scared. I do have these worries. I am still wanting to this, and that. But I know in my heart that there's another way, so guide me, show me. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to see this differently. I decree that my capacity for love is increased, my capacity for clarity. I ask that my enlightenment, my recognition is increased and expanded so that I can see the truth. I ask my unconscious mind to bring up the negative thoughts that I'm thinking so that I can see what needs to be changed. And God, spirit team, whatever word you like, Christ, universe, help me, show me. I'm willing to receive it. I'm ready. Now, what am I guided to do? And then pause your thoughts. Don't think this. This isn't a thinking thing. Don't think it. Empty, airhead, spacious. Be that clear channel. Empty. Sometimes peace feels really boring at first when we're used to all the adrenaline. And I love adrenaline. I love it. But I've gotten much better at not getting off on my anxiety and indulging in self-sorriness. Like, sure, it still happens here and there, not really with anxiety. Maybe with self-sorriness a bit still. But I used to really get off on the anxiety, thinking that I hated it. But if I hated it, I wouldn't keep doing it all the time, right? And I was constantly feeling so anxious about situations that, if you know my story, they used to call me stress, because I thought that's how you're stressing. I'd say, no, I'm not. And I'm like, doing this, doing that. And literally shaking as I'm moving, going, I'm not stressed. Because I didn't know, because it felt normal. But I was stressed. And I was addicted to it. And now, I get my adrenaline other ways. I pay a lot of attention. I love workshopping life and being, oh wow, look, this happened because of this, and when this terrible thing happened, it opened the way for this. Obviously I love a good party and good dance and things like that, and I love some, good breath work and whatnot. But I don't anymore get off on the negative thoughts. It's sort of exciting, but you think they're not. You think you don't like them. But you wouldn't keep doing it if you didn't think it was benefiting you in some way. So this is why we do the emotional alchemy work. We go in and we alchemize the negative so that you don't replace it. You don't just put an affirmation over the top of it, because it's not that. It's releasing. It's releasing what is no longer serving you, and to do that you have to change your beliefs and see the truth in it, but you don't release it, you alchemize it and transform it. Yeah? And so that's what I help my clients do. I help high-level clients who, sure, they have responsibilities and they have great things going on in their life, but they still know that there's more to life. And maybe, a lot of my clients that are successful in business, they actually have, maybe I've had one client came to me for business stuff to help overcome social anxiety, like being online and things like that. And guess what? It turns out through the course of our work that she had severe stomach spasms for 4 years. And the doctor said that they couldn't help her. They sent her home with some antacids, which, by the way, are the opposite. You need apple cider vinegar to strengthen your stomach to make it into a strong furnace so it breaks down the acidic food. That's what you need. It cures it all the time. Don't have antacids ever. And you need energy work. And so we went in and I said, oh, what's that? You have stomach spasms. She couldn't even lay down. Like literally, she had to sit up with a pillow each night. She couldn't even really leave the house because her stomach would spasm all the time. And after about 3 months of sessions, going in and asking the stomach spasms what they were scared of, what they were trying to protect her from, what was happening, go into the memories that are the holographic memories encoded in her pain. And guess what? After 3 months, they stopped. They just went away. And I asked her, after not talking to her for about a week, about her stomach spasms, and she went, oh, I forgot about them. And she had them for 4 years straight. I kid you not. And they all say this, oh, I forgot about it. Like, I wrote a post earlier today, or was it yesterday, talking about my client who had pain in her side, stabbing pain in her side that sent her to the hospital. And, and they couldn't help her. And then in one of our sessions, she just happened to mention it. And I went, oh, that's something that I can actually help you with. And she went, okay, sure. And so we did some sessions on it. And in the first session, we significantly reduced the size of the pain because we went in, we turned it into an object through the way that I guide you to. And then it becomes this actual solid thing instead of just this pain. And then we give it so you give it a color, you find out what it's made out of, you trace around it without trying to change it. If you try to change it by tracing around it, you're doing it wrong, you're pushing it, you're judging it, it will not work. So that's why it helps to have an expert like me guide you, because very few people, even healers who are talented, can do the type of work that I do, because I heal chronic pain for breakfast. And it doesn't happen in a breakfast. It happens like you do it at a breakfast, and then it happens, over multiple breakfasts. But each time you go in, the pain goes away, and then often it will come back, but then you do it again, and it goes away, it gets smaller, you feel better for longer, the pain comes back and it's less, until eventually it dissolves and goes completely. And if you want to try that, then send me a message, and let's do some work together, if you're the type of person who understands that inner work isn't just like some extra thing you add on top. So do not apply if you're not bothered to actually do the most important thing on earth, which is change your inner world, yeah? And so anyway, it was just after the first session, actually, that the pain went away, but we went in and the literal or metallic feeling block of energy was there for, I think it was over 3 sessions on this one, which was a pretty quick one. And, it just went away. And again, she forgot. And I said to her, how's the pain, basically? And she's like, oh my God, I completely forgot about it. And she'd been experiencing it every day for, I don't know, if it was a year or something. And she forgot about it. She forgot. Because it's like it was never there. Because we completely heal it. And it is good because we completely transform your neurology and your body system so that it's like it was never there. Same with back pain and sciatica in my clients and all these things that I've healed. Yeah, it might come back at some stage, but then we do some more work on it and it goes away. But you keep going in and eventually it completely changes and it does disappear. Same with anxiety, agoraphobia, psychosomatic symptoms that make you feel like you're dying, things like this. I've done all of those sort of things in my clients and they work. And so just know that healing is possible, but it's all emotional. The physical is emotions because we're all energy, aren't we? We're made up of energy. Our hands here, yes, it's physical, but it's actually dense energy frequency that's condensed into a certain vibration, right? And that's what makes it physical, but it's still energy. We think it's physical, and it is on one level, but it's truly energy. And so is our physical pain. It's just a pissed off, upset, hurt, scared part of you that has a very bossy opinion and is trapped in your body because you think that it's physical, which it is physical, but it's not physical in the way you think. And so you think that it's like something wrong with you physically, but it's something wrong with you emotionally. You have to go in and talk to it and learn how to listen to it and do what it says or help it change its mind. Sometimes it will say, I really don't want you to keep working with these certain types of clients. You know, maybe you're used to making a lot of money and, you know, you're scared that if you, you know, stop working with a certain type of person, that your income would drop. Well, if it's going to be good for your health, then do it. But guess what? Once you do that, then everything will open up and even more abundance will come in. Even if you do have a temporary drop, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're aligning with what your body and your soul really wants for you. Yeah? And then that's when the good life really happens. So if this has helped you, please share, please comment, let me know your highlights, takeaways. Feel free to let me know your problems, and I'll happily workshop something in the comments with you to help you find out the source of it. Just for fun, why not? And yeah, thanks so much for being here. And I think that's about it. I'm going to sign off. So come into my inbox for a no pressure chat if you want to know how my work could work for you. No pressure, because I only work with people that actually like really want to do the work. I'm not here to sell anyone. It's not my preference. I prefer to work with people that are like, yes, I do the inner work. I know it's important. I am willing to actually do what it takes. I've worked with other people before and I'm just ready for that next level of magic. And they're my clients. Yeah, so if that's you and you want to explore what it's like to work with me, then let's have a chat. I'm all ears, okay? So have a wonderful day, and remember, I'm here to help you sort yourself out, okay? Have a good day.